Yes, my dear, very dear sisters and brothers, we are here and we had been sometimes with our Father God. We do not know when we were separated from Him, but still we yearn for Him, cry for Him, and that cry cannot be extinguished. It is still going on. So the child is to be satisfied, and it can only be satisfied by the mother, through the mother, who has given birth to the child. In the worldly ways, the mother may be very ugly, may be illiterate, may be very harsh, may be very angry, and very even hard upon the child. But still, even there may be so many other women, very beautiful, very loving, very learned, very soft, and very kind. But where will the child go? And where will he find really peace? It is only from that ugly mother, harsh mother, angry mother, and illiterate mother. Because at least and at last, she is mother, and from whom she has got his existence, the same is also the source of his nourishment, his care, and his well-being. What comforts, what affection, and what benefits and peace the child can observe from the own mother, he cannot observe from any other woman of the world. So this is a basic principle which is working. If the fish is there, it comes up in water and remains in water. If it is placed in very good palaces and very good houses and other facilities are there, but it will only find life in water. Till it is not again placed in water, it cannot be peaceful. Now, as I had given an example of the ugliest mother, hard mother, angry mother, if she is the source of peace and happiness and life to the child, then luckily if the child has very nice mother, very peaceful, very loving, very much learned, very soft, and all kind to the child, then at least the child must find peace only from her. So luckily, we have our mother, we have our father, who is the highest in competency, highest in existence, and most kind, most loving, most merciful, most gracious, learned, and complete in all aspects, and we are his offsprings. Where we will find peace, where we will find rest, and where we will find ourselves accommodated. Is there any other place where we may find rest? As Lord Christ has also asked the people, O you the weary one, and heavy laden, come to me, and I will give you the rest. That all these people of this world, they are very weary of the efforts for peace. Everybody is running after peace, happiness, enjoyment. Everybody, day and night. And they get very weary, but they do not find. After all toils, after all efforts, all go to waste, but they cannot find it. Still it is just very far away, very far away. So Lord Christ has then sympathetically asked that come to me and I will give you the rest. That we can rest in the lap of our producer, he who has produced us. Our place lies only in his lap until and unless we find the same from which we had separated, of which we are offspring, we again find the same. We cannot be at peace, we cannot find rest. This is for sure. Any other efforts at any level, that will be just a wastage of time and our efforts. We have not learnt lesson as yet with the hard hits. With all our efforts which we have done up to till today, we are not satisfied, and we cannot be satisfied. As we will be going more and more in the life, we will find still harder and harder, and we will feel more and more caught up and just very hopeless condition, very disappointment, no way out. Then we will have to think of something, that there is some wrong with our way of working, way of thinking. And as we had been working, we should now adopt something which is yet lying unattempted. And there may be some hope. As is given in scriptures or masters or saints, they tell us that we have not cared. Let us now care for that. At least may try it, and perhaps it may work out in our favor. Then world weary and worldly disappointed and worldly burdened and giving way under the heavy weight, finding no other place, no chance, no hope at any place, then one comes to godly ways. Then one begins to listen to the saints of the masters. At least that is also a good occasion, good opportunity, that at any time we come to the right path. That is also good. A passenger or a traveler who has been lost and is lost for whole of the day, but reaches home in the evening before night, is not lost. Because at least before the night he has come back to the house. It was only during the day, that during the time of action he had found the way and the house. But if it had been night in the way, then there was no possibility. Because in the night there is all negativity. There is no possibility that we can do anything in our favor. All negativities will be then will be catching us up, and there will be no possibility, no way. And then it is really terrible. So till the night is there, at least at any time, at any occasion in this life, that we may be on the path. I have seen such like so many examples that people were initiated in hospital when they were expecting death, surely because the disease has gone so acute and it was just only to be lying in a hospital, otherwise doctors and other medicines, there was nothing hope from any place. And at that time they were initiated and they found help. There was a case in Germany, the attendant who was there, she saw that the dying person, he was not an old man, but he was, I think, 25 or less than 25, but he was suffering from cancer, and cancer had spread in all his body, and there was no hope of his being or to be alive. But at the time of his leaving the body, he was all covered with lights, sometimes red lights, sometimes yellow lights, sometimes white lights. The other person who was sitting by the side, she was initiated, and she was also seeing all that. And the person went very peacefully, quietly to his home. So even at the last moment, may it be, if one is accepted and is helped, that benign help is there, and that connection is there, and then one is not lost. But we are not to hope it at the last moment, because it may or may not be. These are chances. But the earliest is possible, the best. So we should find the protection, that we should be on the path. If we find the path in the morning, will it not be better? Tell that we may only find the path only in the evening. It is always better to find the path just in the morning, just in the day dawn, so that all the day we may pass in our own home peacefully, and we are not wandering whole of the day in the deserts and lost in the ways. Toiling just uselessly. So it is nice that we find the path way back home, which we had lost from ages and ages. We do not know. An Eastern saint named Ravidas, he has just prayed God in his hymns that, oh God, now this life I now devote for you. I had sufficiently lived for myself in other incarnations, as goat, as a dog, as a buffalo, as a cat, or as a cow, and so many other species of life. I have sufficiently lived for myself. But now I have found this human body. This now I devote only for your sake. That this may be only for you, not for my bodily life, but only for you. Then it is that you may accept me, and that I may be graced, that I may be in your lap. I may not now let be astray. If we devote our life to him, really it will be not devoted, but it will be found. As Lord Christ has told, if you lose the life for me, you will find it. And those who find, they lose it. Really it is not giving, it is achieving. My master used to give an example. of a saint. He was quite a kingly saint. He was also a very high man in the world also, but he was also a saintly person. So he bought a slave, because at that time there was this system of slavery also. He bought a slave, and the slave was just before him. He asked that, what will you eat? As generally we ask that, what is the taste of a person, what will he wear, where he will live, what he will like to have anything. Then just having some information from him, because he was a godly man and he was not so harsh one or hard one that he may tackle the slaves very hardly. So sympathetically he was asking for this facility of the slave, that what will you eat? Now the slave told, what you will give. What you will like to wear, what will you make me wear? And in which room or where will you like to live? Where you will make me live. And then that saintly person burst into tears. He was finding himself so bad that, oh God, let me be your slave, but I could not. What he has offered himself to me, what a nice slave he has proved himself to me, that what he will eat, what you will give. What he will wear, what I will make him wear, what I will give him to wear. Where he will live, where I will make him live. But I could not be such a servant or such a slave to you. We always have demands from God. I want this, I need this. When we go to a church, there we may bow our head or not, but we have so many demands. So many demands. Demands and demands. Everybody has his worldly demands. But we have not learned to surrender. We have not learned to be slave, and we have not learned to devote our life to in his surrenderance. Then what we will get from him? How can we achieve his blessings? We cannot achieve anything from him in this way. Only when we are totally devoted to him and totally surrendered to him, then we will be receiving his grace. Then only we will be receptive. Then our channels will be clear. These will not be blocked up. When we have our own desires, then these are the blockages. So we should be totally receptive that what he supplies we are to receive. We are not to even demand. In Adi Granth it is told what you are to demand. Don't demand anything from God. Let him be your God. Let him be your sympathizer. Let him be your really lover. If really he is your lover and he is sympathetic, he is kind, then why don't you have faith on his love or his affection? If anybody has got love for you, affection for you, and he is competent also in every respect, then is there only that you are to demand from him in love and in devotion and in mercy and grace? He will automatically be given to us. But we say, but we do not believing in something else. We demand. And what we demand? The negative. Because we do not know what we need. Only He needs. Only He knows what we need. So in Adi Granth it is expressed that if you are to demand as per your habit of demand, that it is our habit that we are always demanding, then demand Him from Him. Demand He only from Him, that I want only you. And if we get Him, then everything we get. We are so low in demands even. Even when we are demanding that we need pleasures, we need happiness, we need satisfaction, at least we may ask from Him that we need satisfaction, we need peace, we need happiness. This may also be satisfactory. But we do not find that God knows that how can we be happy, how can we be peaceful, how can we be merry. He doesn't know. Let me demand from Him a son or a daughter or a husband or a wife or a house or some job or some other things, that I may be happy. And therefore we demand these things from Him. We demand the objects, worldly objects, really, which we find that if we find, we will be happy. Because God doesn't know how can we be happy. He is so innocent, He is so illiterate, and He doesn't know anything. We are much more wise than God, that we know better how can we enjoy, we are happy. This is really a very, very negative way of thinking and attitude. We should realize ourselves what we are, and we should also realize Him what He is. But we are just the opposite in the way of action generally. So we should demand God only from God. This is the best kind of act of wisdom. That God is called to be all love, all grace, all bliss, all glory, all happiness, all peace. Then if we call the source of all these things, then really we can find the same things if we have the source of all these things in our house, in ourselves. We read it, we listen, but we do not admit that really He is. Still we say that we will find benefited from worldly objects only. And with these worldly objects, they delude us and they betray us and leave us sucked up only as shells, dry shells, and then we lose ourselves. Still this game goes on, and this attitude goes on, and this attitude has not changed and may not also change. God knows for how long. My master used to give an example that there was a king. He managed a market, free market, that all the populace of his city may come, and due to affection, as the king is very much affectionate and kind to his populace of the city, that anybody may choose one thing and may take it free as a gift from the king. Now the people were going, and they were entering into the market and selecting some good thing, taking it, and then going back. This thing went on for the whole day long, but one person was there. He was just wandering the market, and it was the time of closing the market, and then the managers asked that, why are you wandering? Why don't you pick up one thing and go away as is desired by the organizer. He explained that I know that this is the market and this has been managed by someone, and I can take one thing out of it, but at least I want to know the organizer, he who has organized it. Then he told that he is the king, he is there just at the end, he is encamping over there. You can go and see him. Then he went over there and found the king. The king also put him the same question, why are you wandering in this way? Why have you come to me? The market is there, you should have chosen one thing. It is the time to close the market and you are yet not selecting anything. Hurry up and get anything, otherwise the market will be closed and you will be deprived. He told that I may be deprived of all that market,